1 packet of cashew nuts, 1 chocolate, black coffee. Wake me up. I really do feel wasted, but paranoia's gone.
It's day 2 and my first day on the job at the dampering.
Hi. Good morning.
I'm still worrying about what happened yesterday.
Yeah.
How are you feeling today?
Fine. My head's here, but yeah, I didn't feel great yesterday.
I think you got too high. You know, that's because of the THC. I can show you how that works if you want, yeah?
Yeah, show me.
Now, if you look behind you, we have a picture of a THC crystal. And the top, the round-shaped bit, that's the one that makes you really, really high.
Really?
Yes.
And I had too much of that.
You had definitely too much of that.
First, a bit of bar work makes me feel more at home, but I'm greener than I thought.
What do you do with it? Are you...
Stick marijuana in it.
Sorry, I'm a bit of a novice.
No problem, you get it back, yeah?
Okay, thank you.
It's the first day, you know.
Surprisingly, the locally grown varieties are the strongest.
These are all the products. In the big ones is all the grasses, the marijuanas, and these are all the hashes in the little boxes like this.
I'm feeling a bit like a sweet shop lady. Pick and mix and match. But in this sweet shop, you have to be over 18.
Oh, passport. Is this normal? Do they normally give you their passport?
Yeah,
oh, is it?
Check their ID.
Oh, because you've got such a young face.
I'd like a gram of Jack Herrick, please.
Jack Herrick?
Yeah.
I know Jack Herrick. Okay.
You do?
I do. How much would you... A gram?
A gram.
Right. I can do this. Have you had a lovely day?
A lovely day. I just landed on Schiphol.
Oh, really? You've just landed? Are you Dutch? Do you live here?
No, I live in Leiden, but the shops are closed in Leiden till 4, so I have to go to Amsterdam.
Ah. What, your drug shops? Your coffee shops?
Yeah.
I have very clean hands. Do you like this stuff? Ooh, it's just a bit...
Do I like it?
Yeah.
I love it.
Do you? What's so good about Jack Herrick?
I don't know, because usually I smoke White Widow.
Uh-huh.
But when I was young, I used to smoke Jack Herrick, so it's a bit of...
Oh, it's like going down memory lane.
Yes, it's a bit like going down memory
Trip
lane.
down memory lane.
That's a good word.
Regular dope smokers say you can smoke and still carry on your normal life. I wonder if I can. I finished my shift now, so I'm going to try 1/10 of a gram of pure hashish in a pipe. A smaller amount than yesterday. Will I feel any different? This time I'm feeling high in a different way. Chilled out and giggly.
Are you feeling?
Just, everything's really quite funny. I don't know, it just seems very funny.
The holy grail for all potheads is Amsterdam's famous hemp museum. And stoned as I am, I'm off to interview the curator.
Show me something else.
For this interview, I've got to try to be professional. But how long can I hold it together?
Wow, do you actually grow your own?
Well, it's strictly for demonstration. None of this can actually leave the premises, so it doesn't go to the coffee shops. It's mostly destroyed on site.
Destroyed on...
Well, smoking destroys it. These little calyxes become fat with seeds, but if you keep it out of the presence of males for the whole cycle, then the bud, as we call it, swells and gets more covered with THC, which is the active ingredient.
Wouldn't it be funny if you could manufacture your own THC? You wouldn't need to grow the plants, would
Well,
you?
your body manufactures its own cannabinoids, funnily enough, which is why it takes an effect on us. We have a neurotransmitter that is so chemically similar to cannabinoids that it's classed as a cannabinoid even though it's manufactured by your own body.
So we've got a cannabinoid...
Cannabinoid, yes.
Cannabinoid.
It's called...
Cannabinoid.
What is it called? It's
Cannabinoid.
THC? Cannabinoids? Ken thinks it's riveting, but I'm losing interest fast.
I forget
Oh, don't worry about the big words.
And I'm finding it really hard to take in anything he says.
Okay.
This is a vaporizer, for instance.
Funnily enough, my attention started wandering, and a pile of guinea pig bedding suddenly seems so inviting.
Oh,
The most useful thing about cannabis is really its fibre.
Oh, aren't they sweet? So you make guinea pig bread?
Well, it's good for an amazing amount of things. It used to run pretty much half the world up until about the 19th century. Nearly all ships sailed on it, half there. You have had a smoke today, I can tell.
Oh no!
What's wrong?
I'm going to have to be excused.
I'm not the first Brit to come and chill out in Amsterdam. There are over 1 million British tourists a year, thousands of whom can't get enough of this liberal utopia.
It's a better quality of smoky, so and that's it. You know, that's why we come to Amsterdam, just to let go.
If it were legalised in England, it'd be more chilled out over there than like it is here.
Amsterdam's like what it's all about, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's got everything you want on a stag do.
Although cannabis is more available to the Dutch, as a nation, they smoke less of it than we do. People think it's legal here, but is that true? Where in the world is cannabis legal?
I think in Tanzania it's legal.
Jamaica?
Amsterdam's the only place I know.
Amsterdam? Yeah, Amsterdam.
Yeah.
The answer is nowhere. Amsterdam may be the most tolerant city in the world, but it's still illegal to possess the drug. The big difference is the unique way in which the Dutch authorities apply the law. If this policeman, Rob Deneve, was English, he'd probably have to arrest these drug dealers, but he's not.
So tell me, how do you deal with cannabis in Amsterdam?
We tolerate it.
Huh?
When the tourists is coming to Amsterdam, we tolerate that they use drugs in the coffee shops or in the hotel, but not on the street.
By allowing a little bit of flexibility, it's making it safer, do you think?
When it is not allowed to do it, then you see that the dealers are coming on the street. They buy it on the street, they go to the hotel, they go to the stations. So we don't have any view on it. In the coffee shop, we know who the owner is, we know the quality, like that sort of things. There is no danger for the tourists to use here.
In Holland, there are just two classes of drug, soft and hard. The Dutch believe that by treating the two classes of drug really differently, soft drug users are less likely to come into contact with hard drug users. Their heroin problem has not increased in 20 years. But back at home, our heroin problem has gone up 1,000% since the 1970s. Here in the UK, the laws on classifying cannabis have changed recently, but nobody seems to know quite how.
Do you know what class drug cannabis is?
Is it A?
B. C, isn't it? No. B.
It's a C and it's gone up to a B.
Yeah.
Is it A? Is it A?
No, it's not.
Is it A?
No, it is.
It's legal though, isn't it?
I thought that if you had a small amount that was for personal issue, you weren't arrested.
Can you go to prison for it?
No.
Can you go to prison for cannabis?
No.
Yeah, yes, you can go.
You can't.
Yes, you can.
Warning. It's just not as easy as 1, 2, 3. So what is the law? When it was a B drug, dealing cannabis would have got you 14 years behind bars and possession up to 5. Now it's a C drug, you still get 14 years for dealing, but only 2 years for possession. Downgrading cannabis from Class B to Class C was intended to free up the police and courts for more serious crimes. But has that happened? Dame Ruth Runciman chaired an inquiry into the misuse of drugs for the Police Foundation.
In reclassifying cannabis, most people don't understand this, the government made changes to the Police and Criminal Evidence Act that retained arrestability for all Class C drugs. There are those who think that the differences now between Class B and Class C are so small as to not warrant those two classes.
I'm out with the Peterborough Police, and whilst they have a tough policy on alcohol, I'm curious to know whether they have relaxed their attitude towards cannabis since its reclassification. A recent UNICEF report said that the UK had the 3rd highest rate of teens smoking dope in the developed world. In Peterborough, they've new community methods to get closer to the kids on the streets.